Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to another video here on AbbsterTCG. First of all, I'm really thankful. I think it's really fun that I have like 180 subscribers filming this, and there's a lot of people that want to watch and see me doing what I love, and taking insights to my passion. So I got a lot of requests that people have problems playing against Shanks with this deck. I think Shanks is a really good matchup. I think I have like 70% win rate in ranked against it, and I haven't dropped a game to it yet in locals either. And I can see why some people may struggle against the deck. So first off, I'm just going to go into the deck list again. I made some couple small changes I'm trying. So what I've done is I've cut the double Vasco shots to instead play two of the Shockwave. The reason I like Shockwave a lot is because it's really good into the Flamingo, which is your hardest matchup. So right now I'm trying to balance the deck so that you get better matchups into Dofi and Purple Luffy, and not losing the edge you already have against your good matchups. And I felt like Vasco shot is really good into Purple Luffy, I would say. It's not that good into Doffy. It's not that good into Lucci. It's not that good into BY. It's not that good into Shanks. Because they have the two cost event. So that's why I'm trying to cut it right now to make room for Shockwave. So what it does is that it's a two cost counter. One of your leader gets 4k, and then you can KO up to one of your opponent's active characters with a 3 cost or less. So the effect is really good. To use one card to get up to 4k, and with Teach, if you're not dropping a 10 cost, you can often make space to have it to play it. But why the effect is so good is that when you play into Doflamingo, I realized more and more that one of the biggest problem cards is the 2 cost Teach, because when you have them on the black hole, they can still do 2 characters a turn. But if you KO it with Shockwave, they get rid of it, and then they will lose a lot of tempo, which means that you can save more cards. So when you get into late games, you have much more to fight back, and can stay healthy and not play into Femur. And also, if you drop Burgess, if you have to go second, you can swing with him more early, because your opponent will most likely go a 8 on him, because he will most likely be at 6k. And then you can do Shockwave, KO the Teach, and then you save the Burgess, and they won't get rid of it. So yeah, you can save the Burgess easier with this card. So that's why I'm trying it. But today I'm going to focus to play some against Shanks. I want Q ranked, because then I can guarantee I'm playing against Shanks, and I want to do most of this like in one take. So I will just go in and try to find lobbies here. And take note that these players are not top players on Shanks. They may be less experienced, may trying it for the first time. So be kind to them in the comment section. And I think the testing maybe is not the best, but I think the good part is that you can take out from it is how I think when I'm approaching this matchup, either if I lose or win. So I can tell you how I play. So he chooses to go first, which I think is good for me. We can see Van Auger, Shiryu, Lafitte, Hachi, and Fingergun in my hand. Lafitte and Hachi is cards I look for in the start, so I can dig through my deck to find the Burgess, and to also find Teach. So mainly how I approach this matchup is that I want to keep control of the board. I want to prioritize getting Burgess, not attacking with them. So you don't have to be aggressive into Shanks. So your focus is just trying to stay healthy, stock up on the good cards. So when late game hits, you have 1 to 2 Burgess, or maybe Van Auger. So when he drops 10 drop, you can chain your 10 drop. And then you can like keep swinging with your cards, and then be aggressive on him. So in this case I took the Burgess because I at least want one to stick on the board, because it scales really well, as I said. And also when playing against Shanks, you have to think about your leader. So what I usually do is that wait, I have not seen this card in Shanks. This will KO your opponents. Okay. So what I do is I usually trash when they get to 7 or 8 Don turn, and then on 9 Don I often trash to deny Dragon or Rayleigh, but then when they get on 10 Don, you have to make a decision depending on the game state if you want to trash or not. If you are big in the lead, you don't have to trash because Rayleigh and Dragon won't matter that much. But if you are like in a scenario where it can hurt, you probably will trash. So in this case, I won't trash because on 5, the most usual are Yasop, Marco, and Ace. I think Ace is the most problematic card to face for this deck because it sticks really hard and they can keep being aggressive. And in this case, he's going to attack for 6. Because next turn will be Ben Beckman or no rush card and maybe rush card the turn after, I think I can take this to try to find more. Okay, we found the second Sky Slicer, luckily. So I think this game should be over. So I want to stop his aggression here. So I'm going to go Finger Gun on Yasop. And getting some more stats on Burgess. I'm going to play Hachi to get it down. Take away the Sky Slicer because I don't need it, and we find that this is my age, which is really good because we can fuel up for Burgess and we can try to find another Burgess or Tenko's Teach. So right now we don't have a Teach, which is kinda unfortunate, but I think it's fine. So in this case, Burgess also is at 7. So if he goes for Ben Beckman, he can't KO it, and I don't think this one can decrease it. No, so he can't go Otama, Burgess either. So I'm kind of safe just to pass for this turn. If he's not playing some other spicy on plays that maybe I should vary off, but I think I don't have to do it this turn. But usually the Burgess is at 6 at this point, so that's when we want to protect it. Or if he got Hongo or 8 Don, then you also want to do it. So he's going to go 9 at lead. He's going really aggressive. He's going to take. Find another stage. It does not matter. So we're going to go stage and we will find a Lafitte. At this point, we are like neutral on board or even ahead. So my goal now is just to try to find the teaches. And try to answer to his aggression he's trying to do right now. So I think I will drop another Burgess here. So at this point, there's some options. I think I don't have to leave up Shockwave. It could be good because I can KO the Hongo or the Kingdu. And opponent's turn with this case KO your opponent's effect up to 1. Okay, so I think in this case I just want to survive, drop the teach, and then start to getting at his life, because when Burgess are scaling, they will hit hard, so it's harder for him to counter. So that's when you can start taking like 3 lives on one turn, or he has to discard his whole hand. So you don't have to rush Shanks down. Okay, so he's playing a spicy list here with cards I never faced. Suppose back. Okay. So yeah, he attacks Lafitte, KOs it. So when he goes 8 at me now, I can do Shockwave and KO the Kingdu. And it's opponent's turn when this KO via effect. Yeah, so buff Shanks. Opponent's turn. Okay, so it's coded wrong, but it's no problem, I think. So we're just going to counter out of it. So in this case, as I said, we are trying to find more teach to Shane. So now we will go leader, and then we will, I think we will stun the Baccarat, because then it's like a free 2k, I think. So then we're going to go 5 at Hongo to get rid of it, so we can't decrease one of our Burgess and then swing at it. I don't think it matters, because if he does not have Shanks this turn, it's kinda good for us. Now I kinda did a small misplay. I should have looked at Grave, trash to pump him, and then I nullify. So in this case, I can start nullifying because I'm healthy in hand. I have the board, and yeah, we are in a really good spot. So then you can do it because now he can't do dragon or rally on me, even though I will most likely win either way. You can start chipping at him. One thing to also play around is Roger. I usually always try to play around it, so never put him to 0 or go to 0 if you don't have an answer to Roger, like with counter to counter out his board before he swings at Roger. If you're 1 life, or if you can't do it at all, just leave him at 1 life or try to stay at 1 life, even though you have to sacrifice some resources, because some people play multiple Rogers, so then you have to be wary of it so you don't. So now in this case we have another teach, so we will just start attacking him, stunning the Shanks, and then we will just start swinging at the leader. So in this matchup, I think why people lose a lot is because they start to swing with the Burgess too early and do not wait with them, and maybe like get paranoid and try to get at his life. But as you see right now, he was at 5 life until I started dropping teach. But it does not matter because my attacks are so big, so he will take life fast if I'm just in a good position. And here I think we will trash a Van Auger. Oh, we should actually trash before because we had 19 cards, so that's a misplay by me. So it's always important to look at the trash to see if you are 1 or maybe 2 cards off for the Burgess, because you can set up on your opponent's turn with 15, 19 or like 7 cards, and then if they attack you can throw a 1k and it will actually be a 2k because Burgess will get pumped. So yeah, this is a super rogue Shanks list, so I think this game should not be, this should be taken with a little bit grain of salt, but I think like this is the board stage you want to go to, even how they approach the early game. For example, with the Ace or Marco is like the most cards you are vulnerable to. So I'm going to try another Shanks. Without problems, okay. So most likely we will go first this game, yeah. So this hand has one of the cards I want to see, but not another card. So I'm just going to mulligan, and we get rewarded. So Shanks does not have any cards that kills my character's early game, except for the 2-cost event. But if he uses it, then I already used Lafitte's effect, so I'm just going to drop Lafitte and pass. So if he, for example, goes Utah, we can go Lafitte. Try to find Doku, we can KO Utah, and then he has to either attack into Doku or Lafitte. Though I think good Shanks player just let Doku be, because Doku does not give that much value against this deck. So I think if you're playing against a good Shanks player, this argument just to like look for the other pieces you need. So we find another Lafitte, so it's going to go leader. In this matchup, as I said, you want to see your key cards in Burgess and Teach. So I'm going to take Hachinoso just to cycle through my deck even more. And in this case, I could drop another Lafitte, but yeah, I think it's better. But in some cases, it's better to drop Hachi, because Hachi gives you one effect this turn and one effect next turn, and Lafitte will most likely get KO'd, and then you drop Hachi next turn, so you just get 2 searches initially. So Hachi in some spots are better to drop than Lafitte because of that. But we will go Lafitte now, so it, it acts like a pseudo blocker in this case, because he has to get rid of both of them, so he will swing at one with both. We will find another teach, we're glad you take it. And we did not find any other card that I really like in this matchup, so it's even better. So we will have more Burgess coming. So next turn, I would really prioritize to get a Burgess on field. So maybe I misplayed by not doing Hachi, because then I get to dig for more cards. Yeah, so in this case, if I don't find a Burgess, it's kinda unlucky. So, but then we have to adapt from that. So I will throw Liberation because it's not that good in this matchup. And we will take another Teach, I think. So we have them ready for his late game. And then we'll go, this is my age. Okay, we will find the Burgess now. And it will have some stats. Going first is a little bit awkward because then you can do the double birdies turn on 8 when they are actually kind of pumped. I think in this case we actually go at leader because I will most likely not drop Docu or Lafitte in this case, so leaving Utah here will not punish me in any way, hopefully. And if he starts to invest Don to swing with it, I think we are in a good position too, because then he will not develop his board. So we go 7, I will take. Okay, we will find another Lafitte. So we get a little bit punished that we did not attack the Utah. So in this case we want another Burgess. I think I will just go for the Lafitte and do effect. Take Van Auger, because in this case we have Finger Gun and Stronger, so Van Auger, Stronger and Finger Gun can actually KO the 10 cost Shanks. So yeah, we will just try to be cheeky, but he will most likely just put leader on this and not throw a card, but it's worth to do it, yeah, just to see. Okay, so he still threw a card. Okay, so we will drop the Burgess, and then I think in this case we maybe want to drop the Auger, because next turn if he for example goes Dragon, we can on our turn answer with another Burgess, and then we can KO the Yasup, so we don't have to start swinging. So I think I will trash Auger in this case, because having the Teach army is really good. And also when you play against Shanks, his deck is a lot less consistent than yours. So him having like 3 Shanks is a lot less probable than us having the Teaches. I just have to think here for a bit. Yeah, we will counter this. So if he goes Dragon, we can take 2 hits. We can KO Yasup, set up Burgess. Yeah, so we'll take, and we'll find the Shockwave, and we won't use it in this case. Okay, so we'll just go Rayleigh. That's really good for us, because then we can stay more healthy. So I'm going to start with Hachi on Sky Slicer. So in this scenario we could actually take the another Burgess, but I think if he goes Shanks next turn, I don't have enough defensive cards to fight off the board if I leave the Yasup up. So I will take another Teach, I think. And then I will go Finger Gun to kill it. Then we will go 6 at Utah just to be safe. I think there's a case where you could go 6 at face. Maybe it's better in this case. But I feel like if he dons up all of them, then it may be hard. So yeah, I think we have to drop the Burgess, and maybe we actually have to, because if he has Shanks we will go down to 0 and then we are in Roger range and we can't stun, so we actually have to drop the Burgess, and then we have to attack with our Burgess to make him attack it and invest resources so we can stay at life. So I think this game is an example where I've been playing a little bit greedy. I should maybe prioritize to get like another counter. So if I had one more counter in hand right now, I could take the Rayleigh swing, the Shanks swing, and then guard the Shanks, and stay at 1 life, and still having 2 Burgess, which would be a lot better. But now we will get punished because we kinda did a misplay there. But as I said, like, it's testing, so it's really good to make the mistakes now and not do it when it actually matters in a big tournament. So, and we found a Finger Gun, now we won't use it. Yeah, so we are in a kind of tough scenario here. So he will have his Rayleigh live attacking next turn, and if he has another Shanks, it will be problematic because we don't have a 2k right now. And we will find a Shiryu, which is really nice. So I will go for Teach, and then we will stun the Shanks. Then we'll go 5 at lead. Yeah, we will go face here. Most likely will take. I don't think it's really good to throw here. No. And then we will pitch the thing. I don't think the game will go to 4 teaches, so if he, for example, goes for a Lucky Rouge, we could use Finger Gun to go for game in some scenarios. So I think in this case, maybe it's better to drop a teach. So with this deck, it's important to like see ahead of the future to see like, okay, how will my opponent play, and in that way you can adapt how you play. So I will probably throw a teach here. Just because so I can keep Finger Gun up, because this is a game we probably have to clutch. So he will most likely drop a Shanks here. And if he do, we have to take it from there. Yeah, so he's going to go 5 at leader. So in this case you have to think, do I have to play around Roger? So if he had Roger, he obviously wins, but if we guard it, no, it's actually probably safe to do, because if we guard it, then we go at 19, and if he go Shanks and swings at Burgess, we can still protect, and we can counter out with Shiryu, and then Rayleigh can't threaten the Burgess. So I think we will just throw a 1k here, and we most likely have to go for game next turn. The good thing playing against Shanks, if he does not have Don up, then okay, so he went for that play. Yeah, maybe I should have taken. Yeah, I counted wrong. So if we guard here, then he will most likely swing at Burgess, and we will lose it. Yeah, so I think in this case we should not have been playing around Roger. We should have taken this, maybe try to find counter, and then we will maybe go for game. So we will drop the teach, or maybe we'll first search. In this case, we will throw a teach, because next turn will most likely be the last, so we won't find another room to drop another teach. So we will go this to put it down. Then I will swing 5 at his leader. So, like, the scenario we can win from here is if he does not have another Shanks, maybe. Okay, so he has 3 swings that we probably have to take. We have counter for his leader. We have block. Okay, so I think we just have to trash the Finger Gun and hope he does not have Lucky Rouge. And then pass. And try to protect the teachers, to try to go for a cheesy game next turn. And we have 2 liberations in Graves, so we still have 1 left. Going to attack with the Rayleigh. So if he has another Shanks, it's kinda over, but if he has Roger, yeah, so we have to block this, and hopefully he does not have the 3rd Shanks. Because he has gone through like 18 cards of his deck and 1 searcher. So in case like this, you have to. We are not in a favored position, but you have to think what he can have in hand. So hopefully he will just go 12 at face and not have a Roger, and then we maybe can win. Yeah, okay, so he's going dragons. We did correct with doing leader ability. Okay, so he's doing 30 13 at teach. So we will guard this because he can't kill it with the dragon. Hopefully he will invest his Donna swing, but I don't think he will. So he most likely has a radical beam or a guard point in hand, which is unfortunate for us. So swinging here, we can go 11, 12, 13. I think it's the best number to do, and hopefully we can find the game. Oh wait, 10. Yeah, 10. Yeah, we should have put one more done. Oh, no, maybe it doesn't matter, yeah. So he's going to take it. So we're going to go 12. So he actually put minus on one of the teaches. Going to take and going to swing another 12. Hopefully he does not have the counter to do it. Nice try. Yeah, he will counter out. Yeah, and we will concede, and yeah, he has a lot of counter, and he has the Roger too. I will try to get a rematch because he's playing a good list. And as I saw in this game, if I had one more counter instead of a teach, we would actually probably be in a much better position. So I would actually say I threw this game. But looking back in it, you can replay the game if you want and try to see like my mistakes and what I could have done better. So you have to be completely honest with yourself. Okay, so we disconnected. So let's try to find another Shanks. We have another Shanks here. Okay. So he's going to choose. Most likely he will let me go first. Again. But okay, yeah, he chose to go second. So this hand is horrible, so we will mulligan it. And this hand is not that good either. So we just have to pass. So we will find the Hachi, which is really nice, and we will throw a Liberation because we don't need it. And in this case we can take the Dock Q, so he'll go at 4. So we could drop the Dock Q, but I don't think it's worth to do yet because goes Lucky Rouge, it's down in the drain, so we're just going to swing 7 at lead, then pass. So looking at this hand, we actually really need a Burgess to win the game. Okay, so it's good that he's not developing further, so we find a Slicer. Okay, so we get the Burgess, so this game is starting to look a little bit better. So we're going to check for another card. There is actually arguments to take a Hachi here to just dig even deeper. Because these other cards are not going to do anything for me in a while. And we have big hand size, so I will actually take the Hachi in this case and just play another one. And we will throw a Liberation and we get rewarded with the teach. We would draw it anyways, but it's also pumping up the Burgess too, so it's not that bad to do. So we also did not do leader because he does not have any impactful on plays for this turn. Going to swing a 6 and most likely drop a Marco or a ace. So he's going to go a ace. So next turn he's most likely going to go dragon or a Rayleigh. So we want to stick a Laboon on board and have leader active. So we can actually afford also to do a Lafitte, and in this case it acts as a pseudo blocker, as I talked about before. We could take a teach here, but we could also go for This Is My Age to try to get up Burgess even faster, because we probably want to start swinging with him faster. So I'm going to take a This Is My Age, and we will search a lot before we start dropping teaches, so when the other teach comes up, it will be in like 3 turns, and then we have 4 Hachi searches, and then we also have a This Is My Age. So I think this is good. So we will drop a Docu because we don't need it, and we'll find another Burgess. So what we could do is we could drop the Burgess this turn, and then for next turn we can go Laboon and then Finger Gun on his big drop. Instead of dropping Laboon this turn, and yeah, I think that play is a lot better. I like it a lot more. So we will drop the Burgess, and then we will throw another Docu, as it won't come up anything. So Docu is not that good into Shanks to stick it on board, because a lot of his bodies he has it's not clearable by Docu. For example, his 5 drops, and also if you do it on Utah, he will most likely if he's a good Shanks player, he will ignore the Docu because it does not do that much. So yeah, in this case, everything feels really good. So he's most likely going to drop a dragon or a Rayleigh. The best case scenario is a Rayleigh, because then we won't take any life this turn. But if he has the dragon, we can guard the ace, and then we can drop a card to save it. We save 1 life. So he has the dragon. He will go for 9 at leader. Take. And then we find the finger gun, but it does not do anything at this point because we can't KO the ace. So he's actually doing a smart play here, leaving the ace up, so he can invest more dons for it in the future. So we are at 9 don, so we can actually play a This Is My Age before to deeper in the deck. And in this case, I probably just want to see more counter, because I have like everything set up. So now I just want to find defensive cards so I can protect my birdies and my teaches when I play them. I'm going to do a Hachi on a finger gun, and we'll find a 1k, which works for us. And we will do the Laboon, then we will do a finger gun. So in this case, no, I don't think we will swing with the Burgess. We'll leave them be, but we will try to take a 5 at him. So I'm most likely I should have swung with 5 at the start of the turn, because then maybe he pros a card. No, he would never do it, because it does not matter, because if I attack on Burgess on the dragon, it will not matter. So I think I want to play around another dragon, but maybe I don't have to, because if it goes 10 cost Shanks, I can protect for these 2, but if you go dragon, then we will take 2 life. No, we will not, because it will be 7, 9, 7. Yeah, so we will take... No, we can throw 2 cards. So I'm just going to pass here. And I think he will attack a Laboon too. So and Rayleigh here is also good for us, because then he does not get more aggressive with it. So if he attacks with ace, we have a easy target for a Burgess next turn. Yeah, but I think he has to go 10 cost Shanks here, and I think he will try to remove the Laboon. most likely, but there's also arguments to try to push face here. So let's see what he's doing. He's going to go 5, so it's most likely a Shanks play here. So we will guard it, and you will guard the ace. We don't go down to 0 life and RNH for Roger. That's the cringe thing with playing against Shanks or Doffy, is that if you go down to 0, or in Shanks' case, if he goes to 0, they have a win con that gets through your big blockers, so you always have to be mindful of those cards. In some cases, you can't play around it, and you have to like play around other probabilities. For example, if you lose to Dragon and Shanks with one playing Roger with the other, you're most likely doing the play where you lose to the cards that are more copies of in his deck. So we're going to take, find yet another counter. So this is the exact scenario I want to be with in this matchup. I want to be developed with Burgess, and I want to drop a 10 cost and stun his Shanks. So I'm actually going to start with a 5 at lead, and he's going to decrease it. So we are 3 cards off to pump Burgess one step more. So they're not giving us, we are not going to do it, but now we're going to go aggressive on the ace. Yeah, and he will take it, and then we will go for 9 at leader. There is actually some arguments to go 9 with both, to put him down life, to threaten with lethal this turn. But I don't think we need to do it. So in this case, Dragon is cringe if he plays it and goes 2 big swings. So I'm going to do Van Auger, even if he can drop another big Shanks. Yeah, so if he drops the 10 cost, then I will drop a Teach next turn, and I will just swing with the Burgess and leader. And after that, I will try to keep my my blockers up and try to make them survive, so I can then go for game next turn. So in this case, this game will most likely be over either in 2 turns, and if it's not over by then, I think we probably lost the game. So here he is foreshadowing a dragon play, so we're not going to take the bait, so we have to counter out, and then we're pumping the Burgess even higher. So if he goes dragon here, we have probably won the game. Okay, so he's going for some bodies instead, which is completely fine for us. So for next turn, we will drop the Teach, but we have to like either way think about what his next turn can be. So we will block 1, and Teach will pin 2 of the characters. So he's going to have 2 attacks if he plays a rush. No, not even that. So we're actually hard pinning him, because only Dragon can do anything then. But then he's just going to swing with a 5 with Hongo. So we're first going to start with a Hachi. We'll find a stronger. We will drop Teach. Then we will stun him. It's important to do Teach effect before you start swinging, because then you're nullifying both Shanks and big Shanks. 5 at him. So I think most likely we'll just counter out, yeah. And then we will swing with a Burgess. Take. And then we will swing with another Burgess. He will take that one too. So I'm thinking in this case if we can swing with the Teach, because if he goes for Roger, we still counter out, because we have counter for these 2, and when Roger swings it doesn't matter. And if we swing with it and he has a dragon, he can go for, if I don't do leader, he can go for 9, 7, 5, 6. Then we would actually probably survive. So in tournaments you can actually sit for a little bit longer here and think about this scenario, but also you have to be mind of time. So I don't think there's a way for him to save this game if we leave these two teachers up, so he can't do anything funny. So dragon, we don't do leader. You could actually go another rally. So we're probably doing leader just to make sure he does not have the other relay either. So we could probably take like 3 minutes more to think about to get the most optimal play, but in tournament in some cases it's better to play a little bit faster and just do like a 90% play so you don't lose the time. So if overtime would be called, we would lose this game because we are both at 1 life and I have 16 and he has 33 cards. So getting the habit of doing the most correct play when playing faster often is good. Uh, yeah, so he's thinking. So I think if he goes double blocker, maybe he has a chance to do this. So he's going to go 7 at leader, which tells me probably has a dragon, and we can block it because he can't get the numbers to kill us through this with the dragon. So as you see when I'm playing this game is that when I play Teach, I always think about what can my opponent do next turn, and in a lot of cases I also think the turn after, because if you think like that, then you can see your vision, what you want to do, how you want to set up. I would say Teach is a more reactive deck. You want to answer your opponent and try to cancel his game plan, and then you win late game with big stuff. Compared to Shanks or Pluffy, when you just want to push your game plan. So he's going to go 9, so he has 5. Yeah, we have not we have to, but we will probably block it because I don't see a card in this case that will do anything. Maybe if he got like 4 rad beams and a guard point in hand, it's a little bit cringe. Yeah, so he's just going to go 8 at leader to try to go for game next turn, but we will throw just to keep the 1 life. So we have the double blocker if he in any case can survive next turn. Yeah, so he will concede. I can't say GG's because he left. Okay, yeah. So as I seen in these 3 videos, this is kind of how I or in these 3 games. This is how I play against Shanks and how I think. As I said before, it's important just not to show off the wins and to show off the losses, because I think it's when you lose, it's when you learn the most. So if I would go back and look at the game, as I probably will, then I will probably see the things I did wrong that I could have done better to win the games. So yeah, but this is how generally I play against Shanks. There will probably come more games in the future when I play against it. And I will also recommend to watch other Blackbeard players' content when they play against Shanks to see how they do, if they approach it in my way or maybe do it in another way, maybe even better. So thanks a lot for watching. I will try to do more videos, more and more, if you keep enjoying it, of course. And I've gotten some questions about coaching for Blackbeard. And it will be fun to do. So I'm going to try to offer some in the future. Mostly you can DM me on Discord or at X or Twitter, what it's called, AbbsterTCG on all of them. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you like it. See ya in the next one.